Hello and welcome to what is the end of Doctor Who.
What?
Well, that's what some people say.
Oh.
That's what some people at the time said.
Okay.
It's as far as some people are concerned, it's the end of Doctor Who.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, it'll never be the end of Doctor Who, although they do certainly get close a couple times. We've already seen one of those times anyway, so it'll never truly be the end of Doctor Who. There will always be something else, even if there has to be a break, but there's not really a break here anyway, so we're on to the end of time. But last time around on Doctor Who, we watched The Waters of Mars. What was that one about?
Well, this is one that we had seen before. The Doctor lands on Mars, on an Earth station there, basically the first people to land on Mars and start to colonize it. But they've tapped into a water source that was contaminated, and apparently the water is alive and wants to take over not only the colony, but manage to get back to Earth, because Earth is, 72% water, and yada, yada, yada. Anyway, as it continues breaking through the various seals around the station and taking over the humanoids there, the Doctor realizes that this is one of those fixed points in time, and that everybody essentially has to die, and he finally says, no, I'm not going to do that. Uses the term Time Lord Triumphant.
Victorious.
Time Lord Victorious. And manages to save 3 of the people and get them back to Earth. But essentially the commander of the entire mission realizes that if she doesn't die, then her granddaughter doesn't go out into space and literally start the expansion of Earth's human population throughout the galaxy and literally throughout the universe. She ends up killing herself so that time will remain. And then an Ood appears out of nowhere, and the Doctor is reminded that his time is coming to an end.
Yeah, the Doctor realizes he's gone too far, that the Time Lord Victorious is wrong. And, he got in the TARDIS and went off. So, as a fun note, between last episode and this episode, the 50th anniversary has taken place.
Oh.
Yeah, so there is technically, and we'll get into it at the start of this episode, there is a bit of a gap of time between the last episode and this episode. So this is generally where they start sneaking stories in. So technically, the 10th Doctor that we see in the 50th anniversary is just after The Waters of Mars and just before this episode.
Now, the 50th anniversary, is that Adventure in Space and Time?
Well, the Day of the Doctor.
Oh.
And Adventure in Space and Time is the story about, like, William Hartnell and all that stuff. The Day of the Doctor is the 11th Doctor, the 10th Doctor, the War Doctor at the end of the Time War.
Okay, that's between, but they don't introduce Matt Smith until this.
Well, I mean, no, they don't. It's not in. It takes place between them.
Oh,
it's
okay.
not. It
Not
didn't
actually.
air between them.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
We've still got time before that.
Okay.
So that's on me for not clearing that up properly.
Sorry
so,
about that.
Yeah. So this is generally when they sneak in stories with the 10th Doctors between these 2 episodes.
Okay.
So that version of the 10th Doctor is between both of these. So, but yeah, you got anything else before we get into it?
I got nothing.
We got 2 episodes. We're doing both of them today. End of Time, Part 1 and Part 2. And, and then that'll be the end of Doctor Who, according to some people. So I'm going to be saying that at the end of every era, by the way, that it's the end of Doctor Who, because it always happens. It always happens every single time. And maybe one time there's a little bit of credibility to that, and that's about it. And even then, not really. So, but with that said,
And the 15th Doctor is now, he's gone, and but they don't exactly know what's happening yet, or do they?
no, they really don't. They, from what we can tell, and obviously we'll get into it when we get to those episodes, and I'm gonna need some strong liquor during those episodes, but
He doesn't drink.
I don't, but that's how bad it'll be. But yeah, the 15th Doctor is currently out. The theory right now is that he asked to be written out very last minute, so they had to change a lot of his last episode to accommodate for that. And now we are just kind of in flux, where there's no new seasons coming out, no special at the end of this year. They've got nothing lined up right now. So Doctor Who right now is in a bit of flux. So it's the only time where you can say this might be the end of Doctor Who, and you kind of sit back and you're like, you might not be wrong. There's a non-zero chance that this is the end of Doctor Who, but again, like I said, it'll come back. Doctor Who was over before in the 80s, and it came back anyway. So yeah. But this certainly not the end of Doctor Who. No. As much as some Tumblr fangirls in 2009 wanted you to believe that it was the end, it's not the end. So. If it was the end, I wouldn't have so many screwdrivers, and I probably wouldn't have lost all my hair. So,
I'm not even sure what Tumblr is. Isn't that another platform like Twitter and?
Yes, it is. It's a social media platform. It's pretty old at this point, and for the most part, Tumblr nowadays is where just the most intense parts of any fandom go to.
Okay.
So, with the exception of the most intense part of the Star Wars fandom is probably still on Twitter and still complaining and very annoying. A lot of the mainstream ones are still on Twitter and stuff like that, and a lot of the not mainstream terrible parts of fandoms are on Tumblr.
Okay.
So it's a whole thing. I can't get into it. I'm not even on Tumblr, so.
Oh, we do have any Kleenex? My glasses are kind of. No. Well, you're not.
Well, kinda. There you go. It's a glasses cleaner.
I was, shall we say, indisposed yesterday. Had a small procedure done at the hospital, and when I came out of it, my glasses are really kind of screwed up.
All right. So.
All right.
Well, we'll give you a second before we jump in, considering the fact that you can't see without your glasses.
the end of no, yeah, I'm.
If I really squint, I can read it, but I mean, just here, it's just it's kind of blurry. So
legally blind without these things.
If you wear glasses, shout out in the comments down below if you wear glasses.
You know what we're going through,
or contacts, I guess. If you wear contacts too, I don't think I could ever wear contacts.
Well, I know I can't. My eyes are too sensitive. So
yeah, I rub my eyes all the time anyway. So
to the west of the north of that world, the human race did gather in the celebration of a pagan rite.
Yeah, paganism.
Oh, here we go.
It's Christmas.
They forgot their nightmares of fire and war and insanity.
Wolf.
They forgot, except for one.
It's a lovely band that doesn't have creepy Santa masks on. Thank goodness.
You've never been to a candlelight mass, have you?
Nope, never been to a normal mass either.
Or even a candlelight service. Bottom left.
Yeah. He said he was there.
They call it the legend of the blue box. Perhaps he's coming back.
Oh, that would make my Christmas.
Oh no, she's Batman. I wonder who that guy could be. That laughing gentleman.
Well, he appeared to have a mustache and a goatee.
Yeah.
And there's...
He might knock 4 times.
Oh, it is Johnson.
Yeah.
And Bernard Cribbins.
It's the only time the Master is featured in the credits.
Named Galaxy Allison. Got married. That was a mistake. Good Queen Bess. Let me tell you, her nickname is no longer Anyway,
That happens in the 50th.
You will come with me.
hold on. Better lock the TARDIS. See? Like a car. I locked it like a car. Like, it's funny.
What's a car?
Eh,
Blimey, trying to make an ood laugh.
Sit with the Elder of the Ood and share the dreaming.
So,
I'm trying to think of bad dreams. That's one of the themes in the play version of Dracula.
hello.
He will give you bad dreams.
Mrs. Saxon, let me introduce myself. I'm your new governor. I'm afraid the previous governor met with something of an accident, which took quite some time to arrange.
he tripped
Mr.
and
Hughes,
stabbed himself 8
if you will
times.
prepare. Leave me alone, Dad! You were Saxon's wife. You bore his imprint. That's all we needed. The final biometrical signature. You can't bring him back. You can't.
Well, that stayed on her for a year.
Never dying. Never dying. Never dying. Never dying. Never dying.
At least they explained this time how he came back.
Don't you dare! I'm ordering you, Lucy! You will obey me!
Till death do us part, Harry!
And then he exploded.
You just leave it to Daddy.
Have we seen him before or them before?
No. You've seen the actor, because he was the Martian Manhunter in Supergirl.
is cancelled. Prepare the gate.
But we don't know who they are on this show.
Okay.
Right, he's tall and thin, wears a brown suit, maybe a blue suit. He's got a long brown coat, modern sort of hair, all sticky up. Right?
Will you look after him? And don't forget tomorrow night, Christmas broadcast. President Obama. He's promised to end the recession. Bad times will soon be over, Ginger.
Well, season's greetings, dear.
And you. Happy Christmas.
Like they went back to an actual president.
But it won't reach you with me. Somebody's likely on his feet. Starving.
Oh, I know that kind of hungry.
Cheese and chips, and meat and gravy, and cream and beer, and pork and beef and fat and great big chunks of hot, wet and red.
Good for you, Meg.
If you thought he was weird before, he's gotten so much worse.
You can smell me. Can't let him smell me. Doctor, stop the smell. The stink, the filthy stink.
Ginger, come with me. Right
Let's
now.
get out of here.
Because it's funny. Don't you see? Look at me. I'm splitting my sides. I am hilarious.
Oh.
I am the funniest thing in the whole wide world. There's this man.
Oh,
Dinner time!
oh, he flies now.
Perfectly normal reaction, Doctor.
Eh,
Not a what?
You can't even say you've seen weirder from him. You really haven't.
Minnie the Menace. It's a long time since I had a photo with a handsome man.
You just get off him. Leave him alone, will you?
Hush you old misery. Come on, Doctor. Give us a smile. That's it.
He's so confused.
Did it flash?
No, there's a blue light. Try again.
I'm all fingers and thumbs.
I'm really kind of busy, you know.
Oh, he won't take a tick. Keep smiling.
Is that your hand, Billy?
Good boy.
It's a menace.
What's so special about this place? We passed 15 cafes on the way.
Now,
Afternoon.
show this at Christmas. They had to film this probably sometime in August or September, so getting out all the Christmas stuff.
Well,
In the sky.
I'm going to die.
Well, so am I one day.
Don't you dare.
All right, I'll try not to.
If I'm killed before regeneration, then I'm dead. Even then, even if I change, it feels like dying. Everything I am dies. Some new man goes sauntering away. And I'm dead. What?
Donna.
Another wedding?
Yeah.
Hold on, she's not going to be called Noble Temple. It sounds like a tourist spot.
No, it's Temple Noble.
Right.
And then sometimes I see this look on her face. Like she's so sad. And she can't remember why.
He's not working for spiders, is he?
Traveling alone.
It's doing wonders for you.
I thought it was better of them. But I did some things that went wrong. I need...
Oh, my word.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, and you.
Look at us.
He could just reintroduce himself and she wouldn't need to remember.
I think they said it'd be too dangerous, even if she saw him.
Ready the events that the people of that world did sleep and shiver, somehow knowing that dawn would bring only one thing. The final day.
It brings Timothy Dalton. Oh, he sparks now. Missed!
Your body's ripped open. Now you're killing yourself.
And that's human Christmas out there. They eat so much. All that roasting meat, cakes and red wine, hot, fat blood food, pots, pits, meat, flesh, and grease, juice, baking, burnt, sticky, hot skin, hot. Listen. What is it? What's inside your head?
It's real.
It's real. It's real!
Whoop! There he goes.
Now then, steady on. It's never too early for margaritas, that's what I say. I forgot to get
5 o'clock
lemon
somewhere.
used oranges instead.
All right, now. Whoa, she's on. She's on. It's our sovereign.
Events are moving, Wilfred.
The Queen looks a bit different than I remember.
Tell the doctor nothing of this. His life could still be saved. So long as you tell him nothing.
Your mission, should you decide to accept it.
Gramps? Dad? Warning you!
Bye, see you later.
A bit old for hide and seek. Stay right where you are!
You can't come with me.
Oh, you're not leaving me with her.
Dad!
Fair enough.
Just do listen to me, I'm forbidden! Get out of there! Come back here, I said! Come back! Are you shouting at thin air? Yes.
Possibly. Yes.
You know, like daughter, like mother.
Naismith! If I can track him down. Ah, right. Yes. Bigger on the inside. Do you like it?
Oh.
I thought it'd be cleaner.
I can take you back home right now.
You don't know what he's capable of.
Excuse me, sir. If I could check the basement, we're getting fluctuation on the power cords.
Of course.
Miss Adams, if you could bring the calibration statistics.
Alright, they're obviously up to something.
Stupid country. I am choking in this thing.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
No.
The visitor will be given food.
It's the door Thanksgivings.
I'm gonna say, someone out there has had that kind of Christmas dinner.
You eat the bones too there?
Oh. Anything you can.
I want her never to die. My gift to her. She will be immortal.
Abigail. It means bringer of joy.
You want to know what master means? Nothing good.
We moved. We really moved.
Looks like
Stay here. Not bloody likely.
Don't swear. Hold on. Just a second out of sync. Don't want the master finding the TARDIS. That's the last thing we need.
That looked like the stable that he was hanging out with Jackson Lake a few episodes ago.
Miss Adams, we're getting some encouraging results from the ratio fallback. Can you confirm?
The man's a miracle. All the systems are slotting back into place. Shattered threads have harmonized, the fiber links have densified, multiple overshots triplicated.
Nice.
And you reverse the polarity.
Oh, sorry. Don't. Oh, my lord. She's a cactus.
Miss Adams?
Please don't imagine I'm a slave driver. We can resume work on Boxing Day, Mr. Saxon.
My name is the Master.
Don't think I'm a slave driver, as you're collared and leashed.
It doesn't just mend one person at a time.
That would be ridiculous.
It mends whole planets.
Does what?
The President of the United States.
I'd like to speak briefly about the state of our economy.
Obama.
Right now!
Keep seeing his
Something's wrong.
Seems to be affecting the president.
Oh no, Obama.
He set the template for humans!
Hello?
Not bad. Obama.
They've changed. It's like...
Oh no, Obama.
Breaking news. I'm everyone. And everyone in the world is me. I'm
This is so stupid.
President of the United States. Look at me. The human race was always your favorite, Doctor. But now, there is no human race.
Oh, no.
There is only the master race.
It's springtime for Hitler. Just think how many times he had to change clothes to get all these 2-second shots.
Oh.
Shoot him. Shoot them all.
There's so many of
So
them.
it came to pass on Christmas Day that the human race did cease to exist.
What a Christmas.
Even then, this was the day the Time Lords returned.
What?
For Gallifrey. For victory! For victory! For the end of time itself!
Why don't you? Oh, that's a scene right out of Star Wars.
Oh. Merry Christmas. This is the most bonkers ending to a Doctor Who episode. Oh.
Okay. So, the Time Lords have escaped their pocket universe.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. It's... Oh. The Time Lords are escaping their destruction at the end of the Time War. So... Oh.
And they've decided to finally essentially take over everything to prevent whatever it is or to start whatever it is that they want. It makes no sense.
For somehow the Master is their lifeline, essentially, of escaping the Time War. So that's what's going on. So boy, I forgot because it's a full hour-long episode.
Yeah.
And, like, towards the end of this, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I wrote so much already, and I was like, we're doing another episode today. It's just ridiculous. Now, is this, and it is, but is this the dumbest plan you have ever seen the Master do in all of Doctor Who?
Yes. But, if nothing else, it feeds into his idea that he simply wishes to punish the Doctor for everything the Doctor's ever done to him, for always standing in his way.
He always goes after humans and humanity to try to hurt the Doctor, and now he's just completely gotten rid of them all and become them. So, it is ridiculous. I will say, I give this portrayal a bit more of a pass with this episode, because it's like, because we already talked about when he last showed up that is like he feels very different as the Master from anyone else. I will give the credit this time that he exploded and he was not resurrected properly. And so it's like all of that is kind of more excused than explained. It's like, why is the Master acting so differently? It's like, well, he's not quite himself. So, and I mean, this is the first time we've seen him actually be able to revive himself, like, fully. So, I guess the closest would be when we see the Crispy Master, which we don't ever get an explanation of how he got to that state. We have our theory that it's like, well, he tried forcing himself to regenerate even though he didn't have any left, and it just sort of destroyed his body. But there we saw him, possessing Nissa's father, and that became his new body for the rest of classic Doctor Who. But we don't see, like, what happened between then and Doctor Who the movie. We don't know how he managed to survive then after being executed in the movie, how his consciousness managed to possess a human, and then how he came back again after being killed there, becoming the War Master and eventually regenerating into the Saxon Master. So this is the first time where we see it's like, no, he was just dead and gone, and now he's back. So, and he's just crazier than ever.
And now what happened to his wife?
She died.
Okay.
Everyone that was there died in the explosion.
Okay.
So, well, except him, obviously. But he was definitely... He's definitely ruined because of that explosion.
Now, again, it's always just some minor little thing that, as a director, just a nice little tweak would have been, icing on the cake, as it were. If when he came back, because I thought I saw this when it was just the shot of him laughing, instead of the scruffy little beard, if he had simply just had the mustache and the goatee, like Ainsley and like Delgado, would have been just a nice little nod to classic Who if they had done that.
Well, so. So. we got a lot of stuff just off of one episode. It is kind of amazing to me that they put all of this into an episode playing on Christmas Day. And it's just like, you're expecting all the kids who are probably comatose from sweets and food and everything to pay attention to a very, very important episode of Doctor Who where everything is going crazy. And it's interesting. I don't fully know how well these two episodes are regarded. They're pretty all over the place, I feel like, but it's still interesting. But we have the Doctor after delaying going to meet with the Ood, which that in and of itself invites debate of how old is the 10th Doctor specifically, because I've seen a lot of people that say, well, the 10th Doctor really only lasted like a couple years and stuff, and I don't think that's quite right. I don't think we ever truly know how old the Doctor really is. Like, even when he says his age, I don't honestly think he's telling the truth, you know? So I want to believe that it's like he delayed for a long time before he eventually went to the Ood. So, but I don't know.
But, theoretically in a time machine, he could do all of that stuff and then still get back to the Ood at the moment where they had called him.
Yeah, so...
But that wouldn't serve the story.
Well,
now, I didn't see this at the end there. Did the Cactus people become the Master, or are they still the Cactus people?
No, they're the same.
Okay.
Because he specifically coded it to the human race.
All right. Okay.
So, only humans, and Wilf is unaffected because he's in the radiation shield, and Donna is specifically unaffected.
Because she's part Doctor.
Yes, but she is unfortunately now starting to remember those things, and it's starting to kill her. But she did not transform into him like everyone else did. But everyone else, her mom, her fiance, Obama, they're all him now. It is ridiculous. So, I do always... I think I asked the first time, I was like, so how does Obama actually fit into the canon of Doctor Who? Because the last president was assassinated by the Master on live television. And so it's just like, so what happened after that? I wonder. And because in theory, whoever his vice president was should have taken over. I think someone said, like, well, maybe they held like a special election and Obama won. And I was like, no. We don't do that here. we don't do that here. I know you guys bring in a new prime minister every like 2 days, but and sometimes they're okay, sometimes they're not. It really just depends on the weather that day.
There's like 24 people that all would have to be wiped out before we could even consider that. Because after the president and the vice president, then it's the Speaker of the House. Then, if I recall correctly, it's President Pro Tem of the Senate, which up until a couple of months ago would have been Mitch McConnell. But now would be John Thune, senator from South Dakota. After that, I think it's Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense, and I think if you go down the line, the last person in line is like the Secretary of Agriculture. So, but there's an entire succession built into I think it's the 25th Amendment.
They're the American version of Harriet Jones, MP for Flydale North, back in the day. So, but yeah, it's like so I don't know. But I guess that brings up the question. It's like, so, I mean, I guess if we're assuming, so that was 2007, I think that season came out. So, assuming that happened in 2007, the U.S. president is assassinated by the Master and the Toclafane. That sounds ridiculous, but that happens. I guess his vice president finishes out that term, and then Obama is still elected in 2008.
Yes. Now, that's very weird, because although Obama would be elected at the very end of 2008, he wouldn't take office until 2009.
Yeah.
By 2010, which is when...
This is Christmas of 2009.
Okay.
So it's towards the end of his first year.
I don't want to say we were well on our way out of the 2008 financial crisis, but I don't know. I seem to recall that having him give a speech about the financial crisis in 2009. Again, don't remember it that well, but it seemed to me a bit of a stretch, but maybe I'm not remembering that because it didn't really affect us because we don't have any money anyway.
Yeah, so, but Obama, he's going to bring us out of the dark ages and everything's going to be fixed under Obama. And I feel like the historians can make an argument and then they could say, and then it all just, drove off a cliff.
Well, which sadly, the election of Barack Obama and then his presidency, unfortunately, then riled up that very, actually small, a minority of people who simply did not like the idea of a black president. And of all the Republicans who were going to run in 2008, and then again in 2012, it simply brought them to the forefront, and they latched onto this moron that we have now. And that's, managed to get just enough of the three swing states that elected him in 2016. 2016,
yeah. It's... We're not going to go off too much on politics, although I'm sure the British can do the exact same. I'm on Twitter. I hear the horror stories of what's going on in the UK right now, so don't worry, we're right there with you. But I do remember. See, I remember 2012. I couldn't vote in 2012, but I remember that election very clearly, and I remember how Mitt Romney was going to be the destruction of life itself. And now looking back, and everyone's just like, and there's the last decent guy in the Republican Party, basically. It's just like, Jesus. Yeah. It's just terrible.
Mitt Romney, quite honestly, was kind of like the center-right side of a guy like Joe Biden. Joe Biden was he was not the progressive that a lot of people claim that he is, but he did think that we should not tinker with I don't want to say the oligarchy because it wasn't really an oligarchy back then, but he did not tax the rich the way he should have. Mitt Romney would not have done that. Romney would have been just a right-wing version of Joe Biden. But again, what simply happened was that, I don't even like to say his name, 47 riled up that incredible hatred of the other, and that's what got him elected. Although I'm fairly certain that there were some shenanigans going on. I mean, Elon Musk pretty much admitted to it. So
yeah, well, they broke up now, so
it's the end of the bromance.
Well, yeah. By the way,
oligarchy.
If you are living in an English-speaking country that is not overrun by Nazis, let us know. We would love to come visit. Maybe if we could crash on your couch for a little while, that would be great. I don't know how many English-speaking countries are left like that nowadays, but I think there's a couple. At the very least, I think New Zealand. It's just like the last one. That's why Peter Jackson went there. Not just to film the movies. He's just like, you know what, this place rocks. So, Master. Again, it's like the joke we made the last time the Master was here. It's like, he's not even the worst Prime Minister that the UK has had. So, I think people will agree with that now. Even. So, so a couple of things just to mention before we move on to the next long special episode. Before we get to the New Year's 2010 special. Regeneration. The Doctor brings that up, that, every time he regenerates, that it's like dying. Everything that he is dies, and a new man walks away, basically. And it's caused a bit of a, not really a controversy, but I'd say a discussion within the Doctor Who fandom of, is he right about that? Is it that, because I mean, we obviously don't know what it actually feels like because it's just a fictional character. It's just whatever they decide to write. But is that genuinely the case of, at the end of this, the 10th Doctor will be dead and gone, and we'll have a new person who's just completely different and is not the same person we've been following.
And yet, it's been written from the first regeneration that they do have, not the personality certainly, but they have the memories.
Yes.
Now, it's not like eidetic memory. They don't remember everything. I mean, after all, because when you're 900 years old or older, you're not going to remember every last little thing. But they do have some sense of who they were before.
Yeah. So, but I mean, that's sort of the debate. It's like, well, you still remember everything. So, is it a thing of it's literally just a change of appearance, change, mind is exactly the same, everything else feels exactly, they still feel like themselves, and they move on? Or is it that they are very separate incarnations, yet still kind of tied together? And it's an interesting idea. And I know that part of this debate can kind of go back to the Second Doctor as well. Because when you think about it like that, of like, well, regeneration, you die, and you are reborn, and it's a new version of you, but what you were is completely gone. It brings up the topic of the fact that the Second Doctor was forced to regenerate by the Time Lords, and it's like, that may be a more severe punishment than we even realize. It's not just, well, you change your face and go live on Earth, in exile and stuff. It's like, no, they essentially kill the Second Doctor because he's too much of a problem and force him to become someone else. And it's an interesting debate, and something, honestly, I think we're probably going to be bringing up in every regeneration story going forward, is this idea of, is the Doctor still the Doctor? Is it just one person that's just changed appearance a little bit, or is it that while they're all the same person, they're just different versions, sort of vaguely interconnected by their own memories? It's an interesting debate about the regeneration, and I think the reason it's become more difficult and more of this question has come up is honestly because the regeneration stories are now much more dramatic than they ever were. Like back in the day, the Fourth Doctor falls, lands, and it causes him to regenerate. He does it. He goes to
Castrovalva.
He goes to Castrovalva to recoup, and once he does, he's like, all right, I'm all better. I'm the Doctor. Let's get back to work. Let's keep doing what we're doing. It's like nowadays, it's like we have to do the more dramatic, send off of the actor and everything. Which there is a sect of the Doctor Who fandom that thinks the regeneration shouldn't be that dramatic. It should just they regenerate. That's it. You don't have to give a big speech or anything. So I don't know. It's an interesting debate.
But in the movie, when the Seventh Doctor regenerates into the Eighth Doctor, he is shot and theoretically dies before he regenerates. Although he may have only had one heart that was stopped. I mean, I don't know exactly how they did that.
Well, and that's the interesting thing with that movie, too, because, it starts off with the Seventh Doctor, he's just reading a book, and then all this stuff happens. He gets shot, they take him in for surgery, and they put him under anesthesia and everything, and he says that almost breaks his regeneration. Because they kept doing things, it almost actually killed him. Finally regenerates, he's kind of lost a little bit, and he's slowly regaining everything as the Eighth Doctor. But by the end of that movie, he goes back into the TARDIS, takes off, then he walks right back to that chair, picks up the same book he was reading, sits down, and he just goes about his business as if nothing has actually changed. So it is a thing of well, did he change? Is he still the same guy, or is this incarnation different from his last? So, and of course that also brings up, when all the incarnations meet each other, like they did with the Five Doctors, it's like, well, they seem to be all very distinct, but they don't really. But at the same time, they have this sort of. There's also this almost level of joking about it, where it's just when Sarah Jane shakes the Fifth Doctor's hands, oh, it was lovely to meet you, and the Third Doctor says, well, it was lovely to meet you too, Sarah, and it's just they can joke about that because they know they're the exact same person. So I don't know, it's complicated. The other thing, well, actually, let's put a pin in that one, and for the next episode, it's talked about a little bit more in the next one. So you got anything else before we move on?
No, I got nothing.
All right, well, let's just.
And so the Martian Manhunter guy just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it just him and his daughter completely out of nowhere. Just they heard about this whole this cult that was trying to revive Harold Saxon, and they wanted to use that. They wanted to use him. They knew he would have been smart enough to fix the Immortality Gate.
And the Immortality Gate came out of a spaceship that we don't know about?
Yeah. It was just some spaceship that crashed there. I mean, I think it was part of the same race that the Cactus Folk are from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and because they're there to try to salvage it, basically, but they need to get it working again. But yeah, it crashed there. Torchwood found it, the old Torchwood that was destroyed, and then eventually it was found by what was his name?
Joshua something.
Joshua Naismith or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see if I can try to.
Wait, Claire Bloom. I didn't realize that was Claire Bloom.
I never remember how to get back. There's got to be a. What can I? Here, maybe there's a menu button. No. Aha! I did it. I'm a genius.
Christmas Day, that the human race did cease to exist. This day was the day upon which the whole of creation was changed forever.
I remember I lost my mind at that cliffhanger. I was just like, what is happening?
Timothy Dalton doesn't get above the title?
Nope, companions and master only. You're lucky that John Sim gets to be in the credits.
All of her prophecies say the same. That this is the last day of the Time War. That Gallifrey falls.
Gallifrey falls no more.
Today. Planet Earth. Indigenous species. The human race.
Maybe that's where the answer lies. Our salvation on Earth.
Prince Baron, you've come up in the world, or worlds.
Unit HQ, Geneva reporting. All under
No,
your
unit.
command, sir. And this is the Central Military Commission here in Beijing, sir.
No, the Chinese.
2.5.
Those creatures. Why can I see a giant wasp?
Donna, don't think about that, Donna, my love. Don't!
It hurts. My head. It keeps getting hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter.
Oh! Bloody hell.
What did I?
Tell me where it is, or the old man is dead.
Don't tell him!
I'll kill him right now! Actually, the most impressive thing about you is that after all this time, you're still bone dead stupid.
Take aim.
That guard is 1 inch too tall. Oh my god, I hit him.
I've never hit anyone in my life.
This is the first time for everything.
Come on. We need to get out of here fast.
God bless the cactuses.
That's cacti.
That's racist.
Prophecy.
Up the stairs!
Ugh.
Rescue ever! Oh my goodness me. We're in space! Come on!
He gets to look from the other side.
We're 100,000 miles above the Earth.
And He's got every single missile on the planet ready to fire. Good point.
Little Fred?
But we're in space. Yeah, I know you, though. I bet you've got a plan, haven't you? Hey?
No.
Come on. You've always got a trick.
I'm just
up your
making this up
sleeve.
as I go.
Nice little bit of the old Dr. Flim Flam sort of thing. Hey?
Well, one of two things. Either Donna figures it out, or the Master kidnaps Donna again. He's still standing at the podium there, President?
He never went back to the office.
It's a diamond, sir.
Which would be super hot.
Oh. Private Mott, skinny little idiot I was. Stood on this rooftop in the middle of a skirmish. Like a blizzard, all them bullets in the air. The world gone mad. Yeah, you don't want to listen to an old man's tales, do you?
I'm older than you.
Get away.
I'm 906.
Oh, really, though? Yeah. 900 years.
On his 10th life, kind of.
We must look like insects to you.
I think you look like giants.
The Master is going to kill you.
Yeah.
Then kill him first.
And that's how the Master started.
Will they go back to being human? They're alive. And human. Then don't you dare, sir. Don't you dare put him before them. Now you take this, that's an order, Doctor. Take the gun. You take the gun and save your life. And please don't die. You're the most wonderful man, and I don't want you to die.
Never. A white point star is only found on one planet. Gallifrey. Which means it's the Time Lords. The Time Lords are returning.
Well, I mean, that's good, isn't it? I mean, that's your people.
No. No, that's not good.
Open up the nuclear
That's
bomb.
as bad as it could possibly be, actually.
Step away from the wheel.
There's an old earth saying, Captain. A phrase of great power and wisdom. And consolation to the soul in times of need.
What's that then?
Allons-y!
I'm freaking flipping mad.
You two, what did I say? Lasers! Four! Because of the missiles!
Gonna try to kill you.
How does this thing work? The tracking's automatic. Just deploy the trigger on the joystick.
Don't get cocky, kid.
Oh! This was a brilliant idea.
Oh, yes, Mr. President, sir. Standing there all noble and resplendent and decrepit. Think how much better you're gonna look as me. No.
Oh. I think you can just undo them all.
That was a prophecy, not someone, something. What is it? They're just bringing back the species. It's Gallifrey! Right here, right now.
Is the entire planet. It's like Mustafar.
You never saw what was born. But if the time lock's broken, then everything's coming through. Not just the Daleks, but the Skaro degradations. A horde of travesties. The Nightmare Child. That could have been king with his army of meanwhiles and never word. The war turned into hell.
Choose your enemy well. We are many.
Kill me. If the link gets broken, they go back.
And back around.
Exactly. It's not just me, it's him. He's the link. Kill him.
Back around.
Get out of the way. The link is broken! Back into the Time War, Rassilon! Back into hell!
Rassilon.
Yeah.
Gallifrey, boy!
So where is Donna?
Had to passed out on the street. Oh. It's been a long day.
Oh no.
If you could let me out.
Yeah.
Just leave me.
Okay, right then, I will.
Yeah.
Because you had to go in there, didn't you?
I'm an old man, Doctor. I've had my time.
Well, exactly. Look at you. Not remotely important. But me? I could do so much more. So much more! But this is what I get. My reward. But it's not that!
Wow, that's a bit self-indulgent.
Yeah.
Lived too long.
No. No, please. Please don't. No, don't. Please don't! Please!
It's my honor. Better be quick. 3, 2, 1. I absorbed it all. All things kaput. Oh. Now it opens,
Yeah.
Donna? It's me. I'm here. You're safe. You're home.
What happened? Did I miss something? Again?
Yeah. That's alright. This is the one you wanted to miss.
Ooh, she's smiling. As if today wasn't bad enough.
It's Martha. Things are exploding. It's Mickey.
And this is no place for a married woman.
Well then, you shouldn't have married me.
That's some quick exposition.
She is way out of his league.
That was the maddest Christmas ever, Clyde. Mum still doesn't know what happened. She got Mr. Smith to put out this story saying that Wi-Fi went mad all across the world, giving everyone hallucinations. I mean, how else are you going to explain it? Everyone with a different face. It's you.
That guy saw him coming a mile away and didn't slow down.
Mum!
Yeah, actually look this time when you cross the street.
The guy from the Titanic?
Yeah. Still has a job. He's out at a space bar.
Smile! Oh, don't tell me it's a bill. That's what I need right now. A lottery ticket? What a cheap present. Who was that? Still, you never know. It's a trouble rollover this week. I might get lucky.
You might just.
Oi, Sean!
That shot of him crying has been used as a meme since 2010.
Never know, there could be someone out there.
Someone you'd least expect.
I bet you're gonna have a really great year.
Yeah? See ya.
It was something, alright. Oh, you're holding it back too long, man.
Oh, I was going to say bring the Ood to get him back.
Yeah.
We will sing to you, Doctor. The universe will sing you to your sleep.
Thanks, you mind helping me up? See, this is how everyone should die. With a choir singing as you transform into Matt Smith.
Yeah, that didn't happen when I died.
This song is ending.
Came back,
The
it was the same
story
person.
never ends.
So did he, once, so.
Is the hand no longer available to him?
No, it's gone. It grew into its own doctor.
Oh, that's right.
He's got no way out of it this time.
I don't want to go.
The duckies! He held that back for so long. Oh. Oh, thank God.
Yes, eyes too narrow. I've had worse too. But I'm here. Oh, go! No! No! Oh, girl? No. I'm still not Ginger. It's all crashing!
Oh, he's done it again. Oh. Next time. Alrighty. The song ends, and the next track on the disc begins.
Now, before he started to regenerate the first time, didn't he also say, I don't want to go?
I don't think so necessarily.
Oh. Well, I mean, Russell T. Davies basically says we're going to rip the hearts out of people because, I mean, David Tennant obviously wanted to go.
Yeah.
But they write him a scene where he goes back and visits everybody that meant anything to him, and then says, "I don't want to go," and then changes.
Yeah. So. I mean, it's the characterization of the 10th Doctor, particularly at this end of his life, you know? So it's an interesting thing, especially when you compare it to Christopher Eccleston's regeneration, which was, well, I'm dying, I like this body, but guess we're doing that. Boom. And he's like, all right, back to work. You know, it's just, it's very different. And you're right, it's the eternal whiplash, especially in modern Doctor Who, they dragged that out really long.
I was going to say, probably the last 20 minutes of that entire episode.
It was a really long sequence before he finally regenerates, and it's just, all the teenage girls in 2010 are bawling their eyes out and everything. And I mean, a lot of people, not just the teenage girls, were crying at that. And then just the whiplash of then seeing Matt Smith as goofy as he can be as he's crashing the TARDIS. So, this also now continues the trend that we're going to see for a little bit, where the Doctor regenerates in the TARDIS, and it's one of the worst things that he could do. Because if you remember last time, he did that too. He regenerated, he had control of it for a little bit, and then he lost it, and he crashed the TARDIS on Christmas Day. Now, his regeneration, he held it back for so long that he exploded completely and destroyed the entirety of the inside of the TARDIS. And now he's crashing. And this will keep happening for a little while. So,
now, one last question, and I may have missed the answer to it. The two women who were behind the Lord President, and Wilfred asked who were those women. He didn't say.
Well, we don't know the other Time Lord. There's just the other person who voted against exiting the Time War. But yeah, it is the persistent question of who is the woman who talked to Wilf and was there at the end. Now, they don't say. They were originally going to say who it was, but they changed their minds. So technically, what I will tell you is not canon. But I believe what the original intent was, that was supposed to be the Doctor's mother.
That's kind of, that's the vibe that I was getting from it.
Yeah.
But the other thing was that it was Susan.
That was the other prevailing theory, that it was another form of Susan. And that, I think that has recently just been debunked. Like, there's been other stuff with Susan in, spin-offs and stuff like that. So, but I believe that was the original intention that Russell T Davies had, was it was supposed to be the Doctor's mother, but decided to take that out, basically. And it's interesting because on the one hand, it's like, well, that adds so much weight of, why he was able to come up with the final solution and defeat the Time Lords there. But on the other hand, it's like, well, it does kind of work as being very ambiguous,
Yeah.
I mean, it's also an interesting note when, it's like, well, the two Time Lords who voted against exiting the Time War, and they say, let them stand as a monument to their shame, like the weeping angels of old. And it's like, that's an interesting thing for him to say. It kind of calls into question, we don't know what the weeping angels are, and quite honestly, I don't think we ever really know. All we know is they are a species that are quantum locked, basically, and can only move when they are not being looked upon. And they have this ability to send people back in time, which then feeds them once they actually die back in the present day. So it does sort of lend like a, perhaps weeping angels are Time Lords. Or some sort of like ancient form of a Time Lord, maybe. So yeah. Also, I just forgot that they only call him Rassilon all of one time. I kept waiting, I was like, I did not make that up, did I? Like, they called him Rassilon at some point, and it's like, and I remember that being important, but they only said that the one time. So,
but wasn't Rassilon put into the tomb back in the Five Doctors?
Yes, that is the first instance that we hear of Rassilon. At least I believe, and yeah, that's right. Is that that there was the tomb of Rassilon, which can grant a Time Lord immortality, which basically happened to Barusa, but it was, the monkey's paw. It's, it's immortality, but you live as a part of his own tomb. And, he seemed to just be like, his spirit was still there, but I believe the theory, because I don't think they ever really explain it, that it's basically... I mean, I think they've explained before that Rassilon is one of the original Time Lords. Like, he founded Time Lord Society. It was him and Omega and a third Time Lord, basically. They founded Time Lord Society on Gallifrey. And so, at least the theory, because I don't think it gets explained, is that the Time Lords revived Rassilon completely during the Time War in order to try to defeat the Daleks, and it didn't work. And it is really fascinating to hear what the Time War devolves into, because what we see of it is really right at the very end, when we just see little fringes of it. It's like, as we see in the 50th anniversary special, we see the Daleks attacking Gallifrey, but that's it. And that's honestly so basic. And the things that the Doctor says about, the Master, he wasn't there, during the creation of the Nightmare Child, and and he says all this weird stuff, and it's just like, what is all of this? But it's stuff that is not there, not present in the final day of the Time War.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, too, because they talk about at the beginning, they talk about the Doctor, and they say, this is the last day of the Time War, because the Doctor will end it. He has the moment. The moment has been prepared for. And it's interesting to hear that, because then you realize later, obviously RTD didn't have any of that planned. He was just saying vague things that maybe could come back later. And eventually Stephen Moffat takes a lot of those ideas and like, okay, the Doctor has the moment, and that will end the Time War. And what they're actually talking about is the War Doctor using this Time Lord device called the Moment, which would, as they know, end the Time War, and destroyed the Daleks and the Time Lords.
I had a fleeting thought when he started mentioning all that stuff. Arthur Conan Doyle wrote a whole lot of stories about Sherlock Holmes, but he also mentioned several stories that never showed up in that canon. And if I recall, one of them was the giant rat of Sumatra. So that may have been just throwing stuff in there and thinking somewhere down the line, 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years, 60 years later, somebody may pick up on that and write a story.
The most, I believe, they've picked up on is obviously the Doctor having the moment and ending the Time War is what is featured in the 50th anniversary. I think in one of the spin-off audio dramas or a comic book or novel or something, they do explain what the Nightmare Child is, and it's some sort of Dalek that became just this like eldritch horror, basically. and they also mentioned that at the end of season 4, when the Doctor says to Davros, "I tried to save you. You died in the first year of the Time War. I tried to save you from the jaws of the Nightmare Child." And so it's, from what I've gathered, it's some sort of just evolved, ridiculously powerful Dalek, basically. So, but I don't know. I don't know too much about a lot of the Time War spin-off stuff, so I could barely explain the Time Lord Victorious stuff last episode, so... But yeah, so some stuff to go through with this episode, because goodness, we're coming up on 3 hours of this recording. Like, that's the thing. It's not just that we did 2 episodes. We did 2 long episodes back to back. Yeah. So, all right, the first thing, and I was going to bring this up at the end of part 1, but it works better here, is the Master. Now, this is also a point of contention in the fandom, that the Master claims that he has heard the beat. He's heard the drums his entire life, and they say they implanted it in his head when he was a child. Now, that implies that everything we've seen of the Master, from Roger Delgado to the Crispy Masters to Anthony Ainley's Master, all the way to the movie when you get to what was his name, Eric Roberts, to that Master, all of them had this drum beat in their head, and that's what drove them insane. And it's one of those things, because people are like, funny that the Master never mentioned that in all these seasons, because obviously they hadn't thought of that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I was curious what you thought of it.
Well, oddly, and I may have mentioned this the first time they brought up the drum beat, and he was the only one who could hear it. I can't remember. I was probably in my early teens, right about the time I started watching Doctor Who, that I noticed that I have some form of tinnitus, whatever they want to call it. I have a ringing in my ears, and I've had it for a good 60 years. It's to the point where I sometimes don't hear it because it is so, I'm so used to it that I don't hear it. It's only when things completely get quiet and there's nothing else going on, like when I get up in the morning, I'll sometimes go, oh yeah, that's the ringing in my ears. So, if you've had something as long as he has had it, obviously not just this lifetime, but at least 3 lifetimes before that, you might get to the point where you don't hear it. And they are somehow simply reawakening his awareness of it when he gets to this incarnation.
Yeah, it's entirely possible, because this version of the Master is what brings Gallifrey back. It could be that even starting to affect him even more as the War Master, because he was getting closer to that incarnation. It's entirely possible. Yeah. The other thing I would say is he does mention in this episode that it's gotten louder and louder and louder. Now he's just completely losing it, especially now. And so the way I kind of view it is he did always have that, but it was very, very quiet when it started, when they first implanted it into him. And, it started to get there. So maybe once you get to the Roger Delgado Master, which was supposed to be at least his final incarnation in that set of regenerations, it could have been decently loud, or it could have still just been just quiet. He knows it's there, but he's just like, I don't know what that is, but it's not worth dealing with. Yeah. And so it just keeps, as he keeps going, and you're probably right, as he gets closer to this incarnation, whatever number this is, we have no idea, but as he gets closer and closer, it just keeps getting louder and louder until literally today, when it's just too much for him. Yeah. So
now, again, before I forget, you may have written this down. My one real quibble with this second episode is Donna knocks out the people who are after her. She falls down unconscious, and then we don't see her again till the end. That strikes me as you set it up right there, and then you let it go.
Yeah, I mean, it's the defense mechanism that the Doctor put in there. So in case she starts remembering, her mind will essentially reset and heal itself so that she doesn't end up dying.
Yeah.
And it knocked her out for the entirety of the episode. So I will say, I guess because this is, I think this is worth the discussion. What do you think of Wilf as his main companion?
I like it.
Whoopsies. Camera just went out. Give us a sec. Go on. I've never... Apparently that camera craps out at 3 hours. Good to know.
Well,
right.
I liked it, again, because, like Donna and like, one or two others, he is somewhat in awe of the Doctor, but he's also a voice of reason going, this is what you have to do, or this is what you can't do, or whatever. So, yeah, I really like that. And
yeah.
I like I said, always said, I thought Romana and Ian and Barbara were companions that could handle themselves as well as the Doctor. Whereas a lot of the others, up to and including the really good ones like Jamie, I don't think Jamie ever really controlled the Doctor or was a controlling influence on him. He went along with whatever the Doctor said simply because, of that particular relationship. It was like an older brother. So, but I like the idea of someone who can say, Doctor, you may be 900 years old, but on this planet, in these lives, this is the way we have to handle it.
Yeah, so it is interesting because it is a little difficult when you go in and like, all right, we want to do a ranking of all the companions, and it's like, okay, now how many do you consider companions? Because there's the obvious ones, and then there's the less obvious ones. Because then you start getting into like, well, Jackson Lake, I guess. It's like, Lady Christina from Planet of the Dead. It's like, I guess. Does Adelaide count? I guess. It's like, it's very difficult. And, one of the things, especially with modern Doctor Who, you can go with is characters who at the very least appear in the main title sequence. So that's all the main companions. You get, for this era, it'd be Rose, Martha, Donna. Then you get Jack. You get Sarah Jane. And then you get Jackson. You get Lady Christina. You get Adelaide, and then finally you get Wilf. Most people tend to not include the Master in that, despite being in the main credits, because he's not really a companion in this episode.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting thing, but a lot of people will still put Wilf, even though he doesn't get a full season like a lot of other companions. They'll put him pretty high. Like I think I saw a list where he was like number 2, just under Donna. So, which I would tend to agree on, and we still got some great companions coming up.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he's definitely at the top, and even just like that the conversation about the gun. It's like, well, he served during World War II, and he was stationed in Palestine, but he never killed someone. And I like how he says, well, don't say that, like it's shameful, and even him trying to convince the Doctor to take the gun, it's like, well, you can't put the Master before the entire human race. If you kill the Master, they're all fixed. So it's just like, you have to do this. You can't die. You have to go do this. And it's just, this heart-wrenching scene of him trying to give him the gun and the Doctor refusing. And then to immediately after that hear the Time Lords are returning. And without any hesitation, he grabs that gun and leaves. And it's like, oh, that is bad. That is really bad if the Time Lords are coming back. So, and it's interesting too with the resolution of that, where it's like, okay, there is a very easy way to stop it. The gun will stop it. Either you shoot the Master, who's the Link, and Gallifrey is sent back, or you shoot Rassilon, who's also the Link, and Gallifrey gets sent back. But then the Master is still there, and it's just like, what do you do? And I like it. It makes sense that, if anything, that scene is almost to remind him of who he is, to remind him that he is the Doctor, because he looks at it and is like, I have to make this painful choice, And maybe he's even thinking, and I'm just coming up with all this off the top of my head, but maybe he's thinking is like, I need to make that painful choice in the way that I couldn't on Mars, because he couldn't leave them behind, and he messed all of that up, even if it kind of worked out in the end. Like he said, he got clever. He was able to manipulate someone into taking their own life, even if it was unintentional. So, he's faced with this decision, but in that moment, he finally remembers who he is, how he does things, and he shoots the machine, which is the Link, and is able to send them back without killing anyone, basically. And then the Master unloads a giant Kamehameha on Rassilon, but that's beside the point. So, the Master, they don't even really explain why his botched resurrection gave him lightning powers. He just has that. So, it's a side effect of his dying body that he has. So,
and he didn't have that before, did he?
No.
Okay.
No.
I was thinking that maybe something in his Harold Saxon episodes that might have done that. Nope,
that is all from his resurrection in part 1. So it's strange. It's incredibly strange, but
and still. Never explained why he was so ravenously hungry either.
Well, that's also kind of part of it. It's just his resurrection was just completely botched, and while he's alive, he's just a shell of what he used to be. Yeah. So he's lost it. He's more of a monster than he ever was the Master. So, I guess for other stuff, which we do need to wrap things up. Oh, right. Well, I was going to talk about the regeneration, but I guess we did kind of talk about that.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, it's like, well, at some point we do need to wrap up. If my camera is telling us we need to wrap up at some point. But, you know what I just remembered is it's the end of an era of Doctor Who, and we always go through every episode. I almost forgot about this.
Yeah, we could do that some other time.
We could. All right, it's either we power through them all right here, right now.
No.
Or we do it later.
Because, there's got to be at least, 40, 50 episodes there?
There's a lot. We could do it as a separate thing. We could record that before we record the next episode and just put them out on the same day or on a Saturday or something. So you want to do that? We'll save the retrospective for another video.
Yeah.
Next week we'll still do the next episode. But you're basically gonna be getting 2 for the price of 1. You'll be getting a video where we go over the 10th Doctor's era, and then we will, if I can pick this DVD up, we'll get started with the 11th Doctor's era. So with all of that being said, 3 hours worth of talking. We'll come back next week and we'll talk more. So. With all of that being said, we're Alex and Dad from 7th Hour Films, and we will see you guys next time for 2 videos, because we ran out of time today. See you guys there. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of our modern Doctor Who reactions, as well as another playlist with every Doctor Who video that's on the channel. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.